Hello, it's the 5th of August 2026 here in my back garden. It's sunny Cornwall, and it is sunny at the moment. As anyone in the UK knows, we've just had an incredible summer, a great heat wave. It's broken records all across Britain, all across Europe in fact. But it wasn't just a remarkable summer, it was a remarkable summer following a remarkable winter and a remarkable spring. Certainly here in Cornwall we had one of the wettest winters I've ever known. We had one of the windiest springs I've ever known, and the transition into summer was so abrupt. It was freezing cold one day and then really hot and dry from that point on. And no one could have predicted, certainly no gardener could have predicted what to plant and what to do with such a combination of seasons. I've certainly been caught completely on the fly. And I've really had to make a lot of things up as I go along in my garden. But I've got produce. I've had some spectacular failures, I've had some great successes. So what I'd like to do is have a little wander around my back garden and just see what's thriving, see what's not thriving, see what we might be able to learn from such extraordinary weather. I've got two plots here. I've got a back garden where I grow most of my sensitive stuff, or my greenhouse veg, things that need daily fussing after. And I've also got an allotment too, and I do videos in both. I normally combine the video, but because there's so much going on at the moment, I'm going to do two separate videos. So we'll start here in my back garden by having a look around. So with no particular plan in mind, I'll just start in the top corner here. And these are my main crop peas. They're just coming to the end now. We've had a reasonable crop. I've had to dose them with water almost daily. But they've sort of done okay. They certainly enjoyed the sunshine. It was a little bit too hot for them at times. But as you can see, you know, we've got a crop. The pea weevil does tend to strike at this end of the season, and maybe one pod in five's got little weevils in, which isn't so great, but it is the end of the season. And like I said, they're looking good. Lettuces, I've been planting lettuces all through the season. It's been an endless struggle to stop them from bolting, and I've kept dunking water on them, but they've done okay, seem to enjoy the weather. Now, got a courgette here, as you can see. It's got some lovely fruit on it. Anyway, just zoom in. There it is. See some courgette fruits there. And this has done really well. It's a warm climate plant, so it has definitely loved the warmth there. It's interesting because this is in a no-dig bed. I've got another one in a bed that's not dug very much, but this is a no-dig bed with properly laid up compost on the top and so on. And this courgette is much better than the other one. I'm wondering if the no-dig top layer, the thick layer of compost on the top, has helped retain water, because courgettes, although they're a hot climate plant, they also like it moist, and moisture's been a bit of a challenge this year. So certainly score one for no-dig if it's been helping keep the moisture in for the courgette. There's a little row of beetroot here. We're popped in a bit at random. I did have some cabbages here. It's not been a good year for brassicas, so they came out. Beetroots went in. A little bit of chard as well. This is embarrassing. Chard and beetroot are pretty much the same plant in the same family. I got them mixed up, so there's chard in the middle of my beetroot. But I've got some more beetroot over here. Got some more beetroot. Got some quite good sized beets there. Again, beetroot, you can't let them dry out. They don't like it too warm, but if you keep them wet, you still get a reasonable crop. If you let them dry out, you tend to get rather hard, woody roots, so keep them damp if it's very hot. And just here by the courgette, my outdoor tomatoes. These plants are really extraordinary this year. I wouldn't say they've grown any bigger than normal, but the load of fruit on them for outdoor tomatoes is quite extraordinary. They're perhaps twice as much fruit as I'd normally expect. That's got to be the sunshine. Again, this one over here. Look at it. Not a massive plant, but it's given absolutely everything it can to producing tomatoes. Fantastic. So that's a definite success story. And next to it here, I've got some cherry tomato plants. And again, same story. Huge trusses. There we go. And these are enjoying. They're taller than me. Not quite sure where we go from here. I've run out of support. I'll have to stop them at some point. But the cherry tomatoes are a variety called Crimson Cherry. and the larger one's the variety called Crimson Crush. I love growing the crimson varieties, and we've not had any problems with blight this year. But in a damper season, because they're blight resistant, they enable me to have a crop where otherwise I might not be able to. Here I got some more outdoor tomatoes. I planted these in their pots, then I sank the pots into the soil. One idea being that they get a bit of nutrition from the soil underneath the pots, because I found potted tomatoes tend to run out of nourishment, and they also fall over a lot. I just had to keep them stable. And again, it's been a remarkable year for tomatoes. But this idea has worked really well, and good crops. Not quite as big as the crops on the ones that were planted in the soil early on, I showed a moment ago, but they were really fussed after, and they were fleeced. They went in the ground a month earlier than these. So for late planting, they've done pretty well. As you can see, got some good fruit. Here under netting, I've got some purple sprouting brassicas. They've done okay. Of all the vegetables that I planted this year, the brassicas have done the least well. They've been really plagued with everything that was going, whether it was slugs in the early spring, an awful lot of caterpillars that seem to get through the mesh. I've been pulling the mesh off all the time, killing and squashing caterpillars. So the brassicas haven't enjoyed the heat. I think they've been a bit heat stressed. They're doing okay, and I'll get a crop this winter, but not a brilliant summer for them. Got some planters here with herbs in. Herbs seem to be okay. And strawberries. I had a reasonable crop of strawberries this year. I was dunking water on them all the time. And I did find that once it got really hot, the strawberries were going a bit mushy. And they had to be all pulled off at once. And they didn't produce any more strawberries after that. So again, too much heat for the strawberry plants. I think I can't really blame them. I mean, it's not exactly a Mediterranean plant, is it, a strawberry? And next to the strawberries, these blueberries here inside their netting, keep birds off. They've done really well. They've enjoyed the sunshine. They've been producing blueberries for 6 weeks or more. Still some at the top of the bushes there. So definite success. They like the warm weather. If you're wondering why the fine mesh, I don't use bird netting on plants like this. I've found that particularly with blueberries, which the birds seem to love, they can get very tangled up as they get a bit enthusiastic and wrap themselves around conventional netting. Whereas this fine stuff, they can't get through it, so it's a good net, but they also don't get tangled up in it, which is a bit kinder for the birds. I've got some more brassicas here. Not a pretty sight. There's some cabbages, greyhound summer cabbages, and also some calabrese, some summer broccoli. They've been looked after. You probably see they're full of holes. I went on holiday and I came back after just a few days away, and caterpillars were all over them. I killed the caterpillars, but again, my brassicas just haven't done well this year. I think they're heat stressed. I think there's been a good population of predators that have been taking advantage, somehow getting underneath my mesh, and it's not been a good year for these things. There's a little head on one of them, but I'm not counting on it producing a great deal. So the heat was too much for my brassica plants. Some more outdoor tomatoes here. Again, they're doing quite well. A little bit in the shade here, but they're still cropping very nicely. Just behind the tomatoes is the second courgette plant. I mentioned that the one that wasn't in the proper no-dig bed, or this bed isn't really dug, hasn't done so well. I'm wondering whether the thick layer of compost on the other bed, as I mentioned, has helped retain a lot of water. Something to think about for the future. And just here I've got a little bed of salads. These were broadcast sown back in the late spring. I just threw handfuls of any little bits of old salad seed I could find, lettuces, several varieties, spring onions, a little bit of dill I can see coming up there, radishes, and I just picked what I wanted throughout the season, thinned it a bit, and let them come up. And they've kept coming up, actually. The variety of seed has enabled this bed to flourish quite well. So I'm very pleased with a broadcast sowing of mixed salads. I'll do it again. It doesn't seem to have been affected by the heat as well, so it's been quite a productive little bed, this. cucumbers in there as well, in the back of the broadcast bed. Again, the cucumber plants, a bit like the courgette behind them, they haven't done quite so well. I would have expected them to have done better in this heat. They have been watered. Again, perhaps they needed a mulch. In this bed here, I've got an earlier planting of peas. These were planted earlier than the ones on the other side of the garden. And as you can see, they're all dried up. Why am I leaving them dried here? Well, at this end, I didn't pick them. So these pods, they're now perfectly dry. The peas inside will be my seed for next year. I've found that homegrown pea seed is better than shop bought. It seems to be more reliable when it comes to germination. So every few years I save some seed and I'll plant these peas next year. They'll be next year's crop and hopefully do well. And just in front of the bed here, I've got a chilli plant and an aubergine. These were getting a bit crowded out in the greenhouse. I had them in pots, so I thought, well, it's such good weather, I'll plant them outside. Absolutely loving it. My chilies on there, doing great. I've had one big aubergine off this plant already. Hopefully it'll produce another one. And now into the greenhouses. Again, you can be too hot in a greenhouse. This one's been shaded for part of the season during the hottest part. I've taken the shading off now, just to sort of stop things from destroying themselves. But let's have a look around. Some basil plants in pots, done very well. Aubergines in pots. These have absolutely loved the heat. Doing well for aubergines this year. You can just see one in there. There's a few others kicking around. More basil. And the greenhouse tomatoes, stupendously they're doing. They've not produced as heavy a crop as the outdoor ones. I think there's a bit too much leaf on them. I think I may have been fussing over them too much. That's too much water or something like that. It pays to be a little bit hard with the tomato plants. I remember for next year, we've got a crop. I mean, tomatoes in there. There we go. And I'm going to take some more of the bottom leaves off as well, once I take that bottom truss off. But yeah, it's a good crop, you know, it's doing all right. It's just the ones outside are so extraordinary. And these were shaded a bit, of course, because of the shading I put on, so maybe that hasn't helped. More chilies, more aubergines in pots, looking good. And this was a great success. This thing here, this little stand of melon plants. If I zoom in, we've got melons. We've got quite a few melons in here, actually. Popping up all over the shop. Some of them needing supporting too, so it's a job for me to do later. But what a year for melons. Homegrown melons are the best. They're the absolute ultimate flavour. If you've never tasted one, then plant some melons next year because you will not regret it. And I think this is going to be the best year yet for greenhouse melons. Little stand of indoor herbs here, some dill and some basil. Again, it didn't have to be planted in the greenhouse this year, but in a rotten summer it would have benefited it a lot. But it's still doing all right. And this little greenhouse here has done very well too. This is completely no dig. There's nothing in pots. A thick layer of compost which is topped up every year, never dug. I'm experimenting. This one is certainly doing very well. The no dig system is working very well indeed here. More tomato plants again, and chilies and aubergines. These were grown straight in the soil. A little bit slow to get started compared with the ones in pots. The soil was a bit cool at the beginning of the year, but now they're absolutely loving the heat. There's chilies at the front, we have aubergines at the back. Yet to produce any aubergines, these ones here, but as I said, they were slower starting, but they're going to be very big, so I'm hoping I'll get a good crop off very soon. And that's it for my little back garden. It's been very, very productive. Like I said, a quite extraordinary summer. It's lucky that I planted so many tomatoes. It was just a thought, oh, I fancy a lot of tomatoes this year. I mean, of all the beneficiaries from the season, these have been the best, I think, and they're great. So I hope your gardens are doing well. A bit like me, you probably find you've had some successes and some failures because of the extraordinary weather. But it's been a lot of fun, and who knows what will next year bring us. We'll have to wait and see.